my name's Tyler. I am embracing the no buy year. I'm in the process of buying a house and I just need to make sure I'm really frugal and savvy about my money the next year and probably in the future as well. So I'm loving that this is trending right now. I hope these tips are helpful. And one thing I will say, I'm currently living in LA. I'm buying a house in Vegas, but LA is on fire right now. And I think it's important to support small businesses. And if you're practicing a low buy year, I think it's really important to be mindful of supporting the community in some ways. So I'll talk about that in a little bit because I think if you have the means to do so, that community is really suffering. So with that being said, let's get into the tips. My first tip is to get the Empower app. It is a free app that syncs to your bank accounts and it'll show you your budget and where you can budget, and it shows you your overall spending broken down into categories. I personally spend way too much money on eating out. So seeing this app, laying it out, I'm like, okay, I could cut back expenses that way. And just seeing I'm very visual. So seeing everything visually, I'm like, this is such a good app to see where you can cut back. So I think figuring out where you're spending way too much is the first step to figuring out your low buy year, figuring out where you can lower your costs. And also knowing why you're having a low buy year. Are you having a low buy year because you want to save for a certain goal? Really having that in mind is helpful. I know I am going to buy a house, so I need to save for that reason. And I feel knowing your why will make it really that much easier to say, okay, I'm not gonna eat out 5 days a week because I wanna buy a house. Just keep reminding yourself what your why is. And if you wanna share your why in the comments below, let's do this because we're all having a low buy year together and it's gonna be really cool to see everyone's different reasons for doing this. My next tip, I'm all about sustainability and thrifting and secondhand shopping, but really shop your home first. So instead of looking at going to Home Goods or Target, I know that's a lot of people's weaknesses, see what you have in your home, really rediscover your items, go in the back of your closet and see what are pieces that you may have been neglecting. You'd be surprised by some of the stuff you already own. If you are oh, I want a new pair of jeans, and then you go in your closet, you can see you have plenty of jeans to choose from. You don't need a new one. You might say, oh, I want a new, I don't know, a new vase for my plant. And then you go in your garage and you see oh, I have a vase that I tucked away 5 years ago that I forgot about. Really just go through your house before you get anything. And if that doesn't work, if you don't have the item you're looking for, shop secondhand first. Go to the thrift store. You can shop online secondhand, but I'm going to say not to do that later on really. Go to your local thrift store and you can really find items for a super low price that are really good quality items, or you can check no buy Facebook groups. Facebook, I know Meta is insane right now with the stuff that Zuckerberg has been saying, no fact checking, no listen, that's for another video. We're not talking about that today, but one thing that Facebook is still good for is they have really good groups, really strong groups, and they have no buy groups. So if you post there in that, hey, I'm in this area, I'm looking for, I don't know, a new treadmill, people might be giving away treadmills for free. So check those out. Since I brought it up in this last point, I'll say during your low buy year, try not to shop online. If you can get an item in person, do that instead, because I feel the online shopping really is instant gratification. If you're looking for an item and have to buy it in person, it might take a longer process. It might you might actually see the item physically and change your mind about it, but really try to shop in person and try to cut out online shopping. I feel there are some things where you can't really cut out online shopping, but for overall the items that you may need, try to actually go to the store in person and pick those items out. A long time ago, I talked about fast fashion a lot on this channel, and I feel if you have a shopping addiction and are now doing a low buy year, some of the hardest things is people treat shopping like a hobby, right? So if you can find a new hobby to replace your shopping addiction with, that can help with this low buy year. So if you find a hobby, it may seem counterintuitive because hobbies are expensive, right? But if you invest some money into a hobby upfront that you really think you'll enjoy or know you'll like, that is something you could do instead of going shopping. So my husband actually shared a tip where he said he really likes video games. So he said one year he bought a video game that he really enjoyed and he just played the video game the whole year. So up front he spent the $60 to get the video game and however much for the game system, but he played it all the time. It brought him so much entertainment. He didn't have to go out and spend a ton of money because he was at home playing his video games, having fun. So I think that's something that you can keep in mind as well. Is there something that you can do that maybe is an investment up front, that is a hobby that you can embrace and like replace shopping with, you know, like if you have a shopping addiction or just in general, even if you don't have a shopping addiction. Okay, my next tip going along with that is find free hangs. So I feel like people are like, oh, let's go shopping. Like they don't know what to do. Oh, let's go shopping. Let's meet up. Let's go to the mall. Even me, I go thrifting with my friends. But how about you do something that is a free hang instead? You can go on a really nice hike if you're in an area that has beautiful scenery, if the air quality is safe to do so, go for a hike. You can go to the library, hang out with people. Library has like, they have, some of them have art museums in Vegas especially. They have like some really cool ones, like the Sahara West Library has a really beautiful art exhibit. A lot of them have meeting spaces where you can hang out. You can go to like museums have free days a lot of the time. You go to a free museum day. Look up free things to do in your areas, and you may be surprised by how many fun free things you could do without spending money. In parks, depending on where you live, if the outdoor air quality is fine, if you have a park nearby, go to the park near you. I'm saying the air quality because right now, LA's air quality is so bad. The AQI, I believe it's called, the index is saying it's safe, but it's not accounting for a lot of those toxins from all those fires that are burning. So stay indoors if you're in LA until they say it's really safe to go outside without a mask. If you have to go outside, wear a mask. That's a whole nother story. Okay, well, let's get back onto the topic. The next thing is review your unused subscriptions. So you may have subscribed to like Netflix, Hulu, Apple, like all the things. If you're not using it regularly, unsubscribe. You can always resubscribe in the future if you want this subscription, but just see where you're subscribed to, because I feel like a lot of these places are kind of predatory in their behaviors where they know you signed up for a monthly subscription that you're going to forget about and it's going to keep charging you forever. Go in your Apple settings, look at subscriptions, see if there's anything there that you signed up for. Maybe you got a free trial and forgot to cancel these subscriptions. Speaking of like canceling things, unsubscribing from things, unsubscribe from email notifications from anything that is like a shopping brand. Like if it's a H&M email sending out all the time, unsubscribe from that. Stop being reminded about these upcoming sales, new items. Like if that doesn't come into your inbox, think of it as out of sight, out of mind. It's not going to be on your mind at all because you're not going to be seeing it. So you're not going to be triggered or like thinking like, oh, I need to go shop now. Like you're not going to get that shopping bug if you aren't seeing these emails and being reminded like that store exists. Okay, digital couponing. I have a friend who is like amazing at digital couponing, but digital couponing is a really good way to save some money. If you're doing like the grocery store shopping, they have a lot of apps that you can get to get discounts and coupons for the grocery store. There's an app my husband uses called Upside, and he uses that when he gets gas, and it's a really easy app. You just say what gas station you're going to. You swipe your card. I think you link your card to it and it gives you a refund, I believe, or a credit or something. It basically, you're saving money on the gas. I'm pretty sure it gives you a refund or a discount on the gas, which is really nice. Okay, this is also my husband's tip. He helped me with this video. I'm very grateful. He is really good at cooking. So he said, if you can learn like basic cooking skills, that is one of the best things you can do to save some money instead of like buying, I don't know, I'll say buying a pizza at the store. You can make a pizza at home and then you'll have a ton of leftovers probably. Like if you make salmon at home versus buying it at a restaurant, you will have probably a couple days worth of leftovers, and just learning that basic skill of cooking can save you a lot of money in the long run. This is something where I feel like I have like the basic skill down for cooking, but I'm not like a great cook and I really don't enjoy cooking. So that's something I will be doing this year, especially if we get a house. I'm going to be learning how to cook and just getting more comfortable in the kitchen. Speaking of learning things, I read somewhere that when they created capitalism way back when, in whatever century that was, they had the option to figure out where society would go. They were like, is society going to be focused on like people feeling good and like buying things like trinkets and stuff? Like they had the upper class, right? Then they had the lower class, and the lower class they're like, we want the stuff the upper class has. So they got like little things like teapots and teacups and stuff and felt really satisfied by owning items. So society was like, we can either go down the route where people really care about owning items and like feeling good through owning items and accumulating stuff, or the other choice was society could accumulate knowledge and learn and focus on not really owning things and just like really just increasing their knowledge and education. And they chose, of course, the consumerism route, which now we're dealing with overconsumption, all these problems. So imagine if we had chosen education as the route. Like imagine if everyone was just smart and back to like Alexandria kind of days, right? So I bring that all up to say, instead of focusing on capitalism, you can focus on learning. So they have some really great websites where you can learn for free. They have like free, of course, YouTube University. They have like Yale and Harvard and stuff offer classes for free. You can get the Libby app at your library and read books for free. That's a good hobby too. If you want to get into reading, you can read for free by going to your local library. So just focusing on learning and educating yourself. And instead of like, if you have the urge to shop, you could be like, maybe I want to learn about, this is a bad example, but Bitcoin, or like, maybe I want to learn about agriculture. That's a better example. Or like learn something about sustainability, like learning these new topics that are really interesting. One of the things that's going to help keep you focused on this low buy challenge is if you get an accountability partner, an accountability buddy, or if you find some type of community to hold you accountable. So because I'm doing a low buy year 2 this year, we can be accountability buddies together. We can check in on the comments and see how we're doing. But really having someone to check in and saying, how are you doing with this low buy year, will help keep you accountable. Okay, so I mentioned the wildfires earlier, and shopping small and supporting communities. Like these small businesses are still needing to make a living. People have lost everything, but they still have to operate in our society, right? So if you can support small businesses when you are choosing to buy something, that is going to be life-changing for some of these families and people who have been affected by these fires, or even just in general around your community. Instead of shopping on Amazon for some of these things, try to shop small, shop local. I feel like that makes it so when you are spending your money, even though you're not spending it how you used to be, because you're doing it more intentionally and like really being mindful about spending and trying to spend, like have a low buy year, really taking that time to see, like, is my money going to something that's in alignment with my values? Is my money going to someone who's going to do a happy dance when they get my purchase? Is it going to someone who can really use this money? Like just being mindful about that instead of giving your money to like Bezos, for example. Okay, one thing that's helping me with the low buy year, I really like shopping. Like I really like thrifting. My biggest budget is like probably for clothes, and I don't really even go thrifting that often anymore. But I got the Index app, and it's like a digital wardrobe app, and it's free, and it is so much fun. You take pictures of every item in your wardrobe, and you can put new items together. And their whole thing is they want you to get the most out of your wardrobe without having to buy new. But the Index app is really amazing. And then if you want, you can hire a personal stylist, which yes, the personal stylist is an investment. I feel like if you're doing a low buy year, as a new mom personally, I lost my sense of style. So I hired a personal stylist. So I feel like if you get a stylist to help you figure out like what to wear and how to dress, once you get those outfits down out of outfits you already have in your closet, you then will be good for the rest of the year on knowing what to wear. So that's something that you may want to consider investing in. But the app overall is really free and it's fun. I'll be up at like 1 a.m. making outfits for myself just to like, I don't know, I just think it's so fun. Okay, my last tip is if you are going to buy anything, wait a week before you make that purchase. So maybe you say, oh, I want to buy like a new book. Maybe write that book down and then come back a week from now, like write it down on a list on like an iPhone app, or like write it down on a piece of paper in a journal or something. And then a week from now say, do I even want that book anymore? I don't know. I don't think I want that. So give yourself a week before you actually buy. Like don't do any splurge purchases. And this is like a bonus thing. If you're following any influencers who are pressuring you to buy or like constantly telling you to buy, consider muting them or unfollowing them. Follow some mindful consumption influencers if you need like that accountability buddy or that reminder of why you're doing what you're doing. Just know that you don't have to always buy new. And I feel like influencer culture, especially like on TikTok shop and all these things, like people are telling you buy, Instagram ads, just write it down, come back a week from now, see if you still want it, see if it makes sense. Usually after a week, you're like, I don't even want that. But then also just not having those influencers telling you all the time to buy. Like social media is really good about telling you what to buy and influencing you to buy things. So find ways to reduce that exposure, I guess. You maybe get off social media, use it a lot less. That might help you not want to buy. Okay, so those are my tips for the low buy year. I wish you the best of luck on your year. And again, we are in this together. So leave in the comments below any ideas, any tips, any advice, anything you have. Leave those in the comments below. And I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.